Good day, everyone. For today's video, we will talk about the measures of position for the group data. So before we proceed to our lesson for today, let us first identify what are the objectives of our lesson. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to illustrate the different measures of position for the group data and calculate the different measures of position such as quartile, decile, and percentile. Interpret and apply the different measures of position in real-life situation. For this video, we will talk about quartile for group data. So, just like in the group data, we have also a steps of procedures to follow in calculating the quartile. So, the first step is that we are going to construct the cumulative frequency distribution. Step 2, we are going to decide the class that contains the Q sub k class. Remember that the Q sub k class is a class with a value of cumulative frequency greater than or equal to k times n divided by 4. After that, we will use the formula for the quartile. So, our formula is Q sub k is equal to LB plus the quantity of k times n divided by 4 minus less than CF sub b divided by F sub k times I. The value of less than CF sub b is the cumulative frequency before the Q sub k class, and the F sub k is the frequency of the Q sub k class, while LB stands for the lower class boundary of the Q sub k class, and the I is a class weight or interval. So if you see, this step is difficult in solving quartile for group data. To make it easy, let us have an illustrative example. Let us say that this is our given and we are asked to compute for the Q1 or the lower boundary. So, our first step is to complete the missing parts of frequency distribution. So, let's get the class intervals. We need to count from the lower limit, which is 21, up to the upper limit, which is 25. We will start with 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that means our class intervals is equal to 5. After that, we will get the total numbers of frequency. So to get the total numbers of frequency, we will add the all numbers that are in the column of frequency. Adding this number, it will give us 50. So n is equal to 50. So after that, we will compute the value of the lower boundary or LV. So to compute our lower boundary, we will simplify subtract the lower limit by the 0.5, that is 21 minus 0.5 is 20.5. 26 minus 0.5 is 25.5. 31 minus 0.5 is 30.5 until we get to 46 minus 0.5 is which is equal to 45.5. Next step is we will get our less than cumulative frequency or less than CF. So, to get our less than cumulative frequency, we will start to our first class. This is class that have the smaller or less lower and the upper limit. So, if you see, the frequency of our first class, which is equal to 6. So, we will just copy the value of 6 and we will put it on the less than cumulative frequency. After that, we will add this number to the frequency of second class. So, 6 plus 12 is equal to 18. After that, we will just do the previous procedure. We will add 18 to the third class. 18 plus 9 is equal to 27. 27 plus 11 is equal to 38. 38 plus 8 is equal to 46. and 46 plus 4 is equal to 50. So, our less than cumulative frequency of our last class must be equal to the value of n, and that is equal to 50. So, after we complete our table, we will now compute for q sub k class, which is equal to k times n divided by 4, where k is equal to 1 since we are looking for the value of the lower quartile, and n is equal to 50. Substituting the numbers, it will give us q sub 1 class is equal to 1 times 50 divided by 4, and that is equal to 12.5. To determine the position of q sub 1 class, we will look the less than cumulative frequency. So, the less than cumulative frequency must be equal or greater than 12.5. Starting with the first class, we can see that the less than cumulative frequency is equal to 6. 6 is less than 12.5, so that means this is not the less than cumulative frequency that we're looking for. And now looking to the second class, we can see that 18 is now greater than or equal to 12.5. So that means our q sub 1 class is in the second class. So after we determine our q sub 1 class, we will now use our formula for the quartile for the group data, which is q sub k is equal to lower boundary plus quantity k times n divided by 4 minus less than cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. Our lower boundary is equal to 25.5. Our k sub n divided by 4 is equal to 12.5. And our less than cumulative frequency before the second class is equal to 6. And our frequency of second class, which is equal to 12, and our interval, which is equal to 5. So substituting this value, it will give us q sub 1 is equal to 25.5 plus quantity 12.5 minus 6 divided by 12 times 5. So simplifying it further, it will give us an approximate value of q sub 1 equals 28.21. So if we will interpret the answer, that is 25% of the total number of frequency has a score of which is less than or equal to 28.21.
So, that's all for today, and thank you for watching.